All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Our GMC tweet of the night, hey, Chris, Emmanuel Sanders retired today. Do you think that he potentially was the best of that Young Money crew? Remember, it was Mike Wallace, Emmanuel Sanders, Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown obviously had like a great stretch of, 5 to 6 years, but this guy had the career.
No. The answer is no. Antonio Brown is the best because Antonio Brown is one of the 5 best receivers of all time, maybe one of the 3 best receivers of all time. I put him in the rarefied Rice Moss category. That's how good he was. So no, I will not brook any debate about that subject. Although Emmanuel Sanders had a very nice career. He did, however, I think, survive throwing shade at Roethlisberger after he left, saying Peyton Manning was a real leader, this and that. That didn't really come back hard on him. He had a very nice career, though, very good player, definitely better than Mike Wallace overall. I know we're getting questions from people off the air, Richie, so that's why I kind of answered that one quickly. I did a horrible thing sartorially. Some would say that I do a horrible thing sartorially with my wardrobe every time I'm on this show. This jacket, for those of you scoring at home, it is a lilac style of purple, which is why I should not have worn a gray T-shirt. It washes the whole thing out. I'm very sorry. To those arguing whether it's mauve or gray, it is in fact lilac.
You know what? And the funny thing is, I have the same exact jacket. I wish
you wore that. It's a beautiful jacket.
Same exact. The same make, model, everything. Same exact jacket. That would have been really cool. And I almost wore it today. But I
You want to start coordinating, Richie?
We should. On Wednesdays, we should coordinate. All right, let's coordinate some phone calls and go out to Joe in North Versailles. What's up, Joe?
Well, guys, you're never going to beat Pomp on the wardrobe. So.
True. Fair. Very true, Joe.
Anyway,
he's got deals everywhere. Pomp got all kind of clothing deals. Yeah, we'll never beat him.
Anyway, regarding the Steelers, the NFL season, I want your take in general. Any surprise teams? Where do the Steelers fit in all this? I think they're going to be surprising in a positive way, but the key is the obvious, the offensive line, and can they stop the run on defense? I think they got some good working parts there. I don't think they're going to be 6-11 and 7-10 like some of the national pundits are saying. The usual suspects will probably be there, Buffalo. But you got to look at teams like the Ravens. They're scary to me.
If they're healthy, they're healthy. Yeah. I think they're a really scary team and a pick to win the division. I won't.
The Chargers. I think they're coming on. I'd like your thoughts.
I mean, here, I'll give you this. I mean, I think the Bills are probably the best team in the NFL, or they should be. I'm not so sure that they're necessarily going to win the Super Bowl, though. Instead of belaboring sort of the teams everybody talks about, I love the Chargers. I love Herbert. I think here's a bold one, and this is me sort of stealing Andrew Filippone's logic, but he convinced me with it. I think the Jags could very well win the AFC South now that they have a real football coach and not a jabroni like Urban Meyer trying to run that show. I think Lawrence could be the real deal. I like a lot of their pieces in place, and that's a bad division. As far as the Steelers go, we all know the offensive line's the question, Richie, just like Joe said. But here's the other part of it. Can they surmount that line play that we all assume is going to be probably bad with play calling that gets Trubisky, or if it's Pickett eventually, on the move and just sort of avoids that the way like Roethlisberger used to early in his career by extending plays? I think that's a huge question. Can Matt Canada actually scheme around a bad offensive line?
I'm hoping. I think they potentially have the type of offense to do that with a lot of rollouts and, his mobility, getting it out to the tight end. It would really help if Deontay Johnson was in there so he could get rid of the ball a little bit faster. But I do think they have some good skilled players on this team. I think the Steelers potentially could be one of those surprising teams, like Joe was saying. I'm going with you. I like the 2 Florida teams as being teams that might sneak up on people. I don't know if Miami is.
Wait, there's 3 of them. Are you talking in the AFC?
I'm talking AFC, yeah. I was going to go with Miami and Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville should be. I mean, they got a good running back. They have a good quarterback. We're supposed to be a good quarterback. Receivers potentially suspect. What about the Raiders? Is that a team that might sneak up?
I mean, the Raiders might be the worst or the best 4th place team of all time in a division. I mean, all 4 teams in that division on paper look like they're playoff caliber. Here, I'll give people a prediction that'll be gratifying to hear around these parts. And I'm only saying this mainly because I feel like I was in the right on this subject from the start of the who made who Belichick-Brady thing. I think you could continue to see some of the shine come off Bill Belichick this year and more get transferred to Tom Brady in retrospect. He's got Joe Judge and Matt Patricia, who should star in a buddy cop comedy where they're both just completely inept. They never solve any cases and you just laugh at them the whole time. Two incompetent coaches who aren't even offensive coaches running his offense and trying to steward Mac Jones into being somebody who's really good. I think this is a big story this year, is that the Patriots look bad and Belichick starts to look a little foul and stinky himself.
You know, I was on the wrong side, I'll admit it. I thought it was more of Belichick being the professor than Tom Brady, because you're looking at, hey, 6th-round pick, Belichick. But Belichick didn't really do anything until he got to New England. But now I'm back. I'm on your side. I think obviously it was Tom Brady more than Belichick. I think Tom Brady could have won anywhere. Now that
well, he did. He did.
He
mean, he turned Bruce Arians into a Super Bowl champion there as the head coach. I mean, he's going to be really good with Todd Bowles there, who had a rough time as in his first run as head coach. Brady he's a maniac. He's the best player I've ever seen. He's the undisputed GOAT, in my opinion, and I think that's going to be just something that's fun for Steelers fans to watch. I think the Patriots are really going to struggle badly this year, and I think Belichick's arrogance is going to be a big cause of it.
Makes you wonder how many more Super Bowls or championships the Steelers would have won if they would have had Brady.
If they would have had Brady
instead of Ben. Would they have won? They would have won at least
it's
two.
It's hard to make that projection. How do they build the team around him? Does it all unfold the same way? But I think, like you said, Brady would win anywhere. I got to believe the Steelers would have 2 or 3 more. I think he's that good, man, at least. It might be a higher number, too.
Wow. All right, let's go out to Tony in North Hills. How you doing, Tony? Tony.
Yep. Hey, guys.
Hey.
I'm trying to figure out how Derek Watt figures into the plans.
Yeah, that's a good question, and we've been trying to figure that out for, a year now. Obviously, special teams. I don't know. I mean, the Matt Canada offense is supposed to use a fullback, but you don't
Connor
even see him
Hayward.
out
I'd rather see Connor Hayward out there. He looks more dynamic. How does Derek Watt figure into the plans? He's a siphon for $3 million. It just goes into Derek Watt, and then it disappears without a trace.
I think it helped keep T.J. Watt around, maybe.
Maybe come on.
Hey, look,
they were
your partner does all these conspiracy theories. That's mine. And it had something to do with the contract, maybe. I don't know. I mean, because...
Hey, TJ, we'll give you 80-some-odd million guaranteed, but we will give your brother the participation trophy equivalent of a contract. Isn't that nice of us? Come on.
Maybe. I don't.
Then they should have signed JJ when he was available. They should have backed up a truck to him. It's not out of the realm of
possibility because, I mean, Connor Hayward's more dynamic. I mean, okay, you could say he's a special team star. He's not even a special teams captain, right? They have how many special team stars do they have on this team?
Apparently
Benny
all of them.
Snell, Derek Watt, Miles Killebrew. I mean, who else? Let's name some more special teams stars they got. How many of those do you need?
You know what? Bucko Fever is suddenly sounding more appealing right now.
All right, we're going to take a break. Back with more of your phone calls, maybe some of your tweets coming up next. Stay right there.